Today on Homeworthy, we're diving into the charm of grand millennial style, where timeless elegance meets a modern twist. First, we'll visit a stunning home in St. Louis filled with vibrant art and playful patterns. Then, we'll step into a bright and colorful LA apartment that seamlessly combines vintage treasures with modern flair. Finally, we'll explore a Dallas home that blends bold colors with antique charm for a truly unique aesthetic. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi Homeworthy, I'm Amy. I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and I would enjoy taking you on a tour of my home. Hi, I'm Amy Studebaker, and I own Amy Studebaker Design, which is an interior design firm. We are located in St. Louis, Missouri, so both my home as well as my firm is here. So about 6 years ago, my husband and I purchased this home, and we live here with our son, who is 10 and a half, and our furry little friend Biscuit, who you might actually see running around throughout this tour. I'm truly one that just loves to find beautiful things. That's how I approach life. I approach design for myself and my clients. But when it comes to my own personal home, I love a very fresh, traditional feel. I love bold color, I love pattern layering, but I love to just enrich that with antiques that tell a story, tell history, and really make a warm, collected space. Welcome to our entryway. So my husband and I, as I had mentioned, purchased this home 6 years ago. When we were searching for a home, we were very particular about some of the qualities that we needed. We looked at over 100 homes. I think this home was in that first 30, and I was like, no, I need to keep looking. After home 109, I called him back on the phone. I called my husband and I said, I'm done searching. Remember that home that we looked at? Let's just buy it. And so he said yes, and we became very excited. So two of the characteristics that we were looking for in a home was a home that had age to it, because I love, again, like I said earlier, antiques, I love history, so I wanted a home that had some history, but I also, of course, needed a house that had the need for renovation. I wasn't just gonna walk in and put furniture. I needed to be able to gut a house and really give it sort of our take and what we needed in the house. So when we selected this house, it had both of those qualities. This one is from the 50s, and what I love about the 50s is that you're going to walk in and you're going to find fabulous wood doors. You're going to find original hardwood. You are probably going to have plaster walls and plaster moldings, and those were things that just are so my language in design that I knew I had to have it. But what I also love about the 50s is that you're really not going to find a lot of surprises behind the walls. So we were sold, and so what began was the renovation in the foyer when you enter. So what I love about our foyer is, number one, it has wood flooring. I did paint the wood flooring, but because we don't have a lot of windows in this space, I wanted to create a larger feel. So by painting the floors white, the light that does come in bounces off, it reflects, and it makes it feel grander. I added this wonderful pattern, because in history you will find a lot of painted floors. And so it's a detail that really makes me happy whenever we walk into the home. So then I'm going to transition you over to this wall. So originally this wall was open right here, and it went into the dining room. We decided not to use that space as a dining room. It's my husband's office. And what we found when we closed this wall off, though, was that, again, it elongated the space, it made it feel grander. And then what I wanted to do from there was create a gallery wall. So this gallery wall is very special to me. I'm not sure why, but I really have this love for art depicting birds, ships, lighthouses. And so when I travel, whether I'm traveling for purchasing furniture for my clients' homes or just traveling for myself, I gather artwork. And so I've been collecting birds and egg prints, also older oil paintings, and I've been collecting them and adding them to this wall. Kind of a fun little detail is that I'm leaving spaces so that I can continue to collect, because I am one that really feels like my house will continue growing over time. So these little pieces will start to fill in over here. I also love pieces that are larger than what you would expect in a space. So I put this oversized mirror in here to, again, really help with any light that came into the room, creating a reflection and then breaking up a little bit of the gallery. Down here, you'll find more of some of my favorite pieces that are just from various things and travels. The majority of this space is original to the home. So with regards to the staircase, it was a characteristic that I wanted to maintain and keep and just enhance. So I love a formal banister in a black high gloss. So we painted the banister, and then I just put a fresh coat of white paint on the spindles. And you'll also notice that I have painted the actual staircase as well. Because again, I just felt like by painting everything white, it was really enlarging the space and helping with that bouncing of light. Another thing that we did in here is that we have added applied moldings all throughout the house. So we had the original plasterwork, but I wanted to enhance that by applying more moldings to really help take like our 8-foot ceiling height and elongate it. And so I went ahead and added the applied molding up our staircase wall as well. One thing that I always tell my clients when I either take them shopping or I'm shopping for them is that buy things that you love. Even if you don't know exactly where you're going to place it, buy the things you love, put it in your home, and you will always walk by it and just have a smile on your face. So I was out shopping in Atlanta, and I ran across these English bamboo chairs. My heart stopped, and I said, I have to have those. I have no idea where they're going to go, but I have to have them. So I purchased them, didn't tell my family, came home, and I thought, okay, they are going to go in this foyer, but my foyer is really small. I don't know if this is going to work. So my boys were playing video games one night, and I was secretly in here taking garden stools and pillows and placing them right here at about the same size as the chairs, and just watching my family like walk back and forth. No one knocked into them. So one day the chairs arrive, I switch out the garden stools for chairs, and they found their home, and they make me so happy every time I walk by them. And I think that they add a wonderful layer, because anytime you can put furniture in a space, I think it just makes it feel very welcoming. Now I would love to show you all my powder room, so follow me. This is our formal powder room, and it's a tiny little space, but it has a wonderful jewel box effect in here. So I started with the wallpaper. This was a wall covering that I had been looking at for quite some time, and I just fell in love with all of the blue and whites and just the whole floral viney feel to it. But what really excited me actually after I selected this wallpaper was that I learned a little bit about the history. So it is a Schumacher wallpaper, and this pattern was actually featured in the Gone with the Wind home in the entry. So different colorway in Gone with the Wind, but it was the same pattern. So when I found out that little tidbit, it made me even more excited about my space. It's a lovely beginning for the design. So what I did though, furthermore with that, was I really loved the blue and white. So I played off just the blue and white in the space. So the trim work is one of the shades of blue. The vanity is the same, as is the mirror, to really just make the space feel like one wonderful cohesive jewel box. When I'm creating tiny little spaces and making an impact, I really love to use the same color but in different saturation levels. So in this space, I used 2 different blues. One is a lighter blue from the wall covering, and then one is a deeper blue from the wall covering. So my ceiling has the lighter blue, and then all of the trim work as well as the vanity and mirror are the deeper, richer, saturated blue. When we were moving into the home, we knew that we wanted to renovate, as I had mentioned, and we gutted 90% of the house. So the powder room was, of course, one of them. I was running out of time and I needed a vanity. And so instead of sitting down to design one, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to a local antique store and I'm going to make something happen. So I was so fortunate. I walked into a local store and I found a wonderful little vanity, or little console table actually, that was the perfect size. And I said, that is my vanity. I am making it happen and it's going to be beautiful. And I will say it's now a conversation piece. When people enter this space, they always comment on it and ask where I've got it. And I'm like, it's a little vintage find. Now I'll take you to the kitchen. This is my kitchen. And I feel like it's a really special space. I don't cook, full disclosure, but we are in the refrigerator, constantly in the pantry. And of course, like many homes, it is a gathering spot. One of the first design details that I really tackled in the space was eliminating upper cabinets. Because I really do not cook and I don't need a lot of utensils and I don't need a lot of items for that, I really could eliminate a lot of storage for our family by not having the uppers. So we took down the upper cabinets and then really relied on everything below counter to keep everything tidy. So when we did that, I wanted to make sure that my hood had a wonderful shape to it. This just makes me, again, so happy. And I feel like you guys might hear that a lot because I just truly do things that put a smile on my face, make us enjoy our home. And so this hood was a fabulous shape that we went with, and I felt like worked wonders in here. To accentuate the hood, we added sconces on either side, which I think lighting is so important. And so when I'm working on our home or any client's home, we really attack all levels of lighting. So my space needed to have sconces as well as, of course, the overheads. This whole area back here is also, I think, a fabulous detail. So I added this brass bar where some of the items that we might not have storage now for, because I took down the uppers, can hang. So we have some of our wonderful copper items that we use whenever we are making something that's sitting out. I also love to place wonderful oils and such on trays. I think that a kitchen needs to have some accessories sitting out but not be overly done. So anytime you can use something that you physically use on a daily basis and have it sitting out in a lovely way, I think really enhances a kitchen. So we'll have some of our utensils sitting out. We have some of our, like I said, oil bottles. And then my little coffee area over here where I make my espresso every morning. Looking down, we painted our floor in here. So as you guys might start to see the trend as you're walking through, I love a painted floor. They're not for everyone, but they are very much for us because I just love pattern. And if I can put a wall-to-wall pattern on the floor, then that makes me really excited and I think really adds interest to the space. So in our kitchen, what we did was we used, it was 2 different blues, or it is 2 different blues and a white. And so we painted the cabinetry, one of the blues that is in the floor, and then we used the same white that is on the walls and the ceiling. And it really makes for, I think, an interesting space. It also eliminates the need for rugs, which I find to be very nice in a kitchen where it can get dirty from all of the traffic. Up on the walls, I wanted to place art. And so this was a painting that my husband and I both really fell in love with. Like, he loved the bright colors and I love a still life with fruit. So this was one that clearly made perfect sense to lean in our kitchen and really be a focal point of the art in the space. It's the largest piece and, you know, it just makes me happy, like I've been saying. Our kitchen island is great. It's a wonderful size for us. My son loves to sit here at the bar stool and have breakfast. And sometimes in the evening when it's just two of us, if maybe I'm running errands and Nick is sitting here with Augie, they'll have dinner right here. So it's been a wonderful, special space for us. Going back to function, I love, again, like setting things out that we use. So our island centerpiece has become a wonderful place to put collected items. So whether it's a silver piece that I gathered on a shopping trip, where typically it's not in there now, but typically I keep like shallots or little onions in there, to like our fruit bowl, and then special pieces that I've collected on my travels. It's just, again, like a wonderful way to make a kitchen feel homey, and for us, really make it functional too. One area that's been fantastic with our island is, of course, having this great seating. I just love it when my son comes in here and sits at the table while I'm doing something in the kitchen and we chat. But these are wonderful stools. They have this great lattice work detail on the back, and they are from mainly baskets. So they've been a really great piece for us to be able to utilize. And I'm very excited with the timing of when you guys came. I was able to have my cushions made. So these are new cushions from the Textiles Designers Guild. And I love the layer of color and florals in here. I think it just, I don't know, it feels fabulous. So in this space, I wanted to be able to create a little bit more depth on this side of the room. I felt like it was too open to the other side of the house, and I wanted it to maintain, this is the kitchen and this is our dining room. So I created this wonderful millwork paneling detail where I brought it in from the opening so that we had defined areas, and also allowed for some more color on this wall because it was just a simple white wall, and I felt like it really needed to have cabinetry or color to it. So what I did do though, like at first was just going to be millwork, and then I decided, oh, I can actually store some items in this area because I have a lot of servingware. So what I did, and I don't know what it looks like inside. I'm gonna open it for you guys, no judging, but I'll show you. So what we did was on the inside, we created some storage to house some of our servingware, of our silver and different items. And so it's been a wonderful addition to storing different items that I didn't anticipate needing to store, but also really creating some architectural interest in this space. I would now love to take you all out to my porch. Welcome to our porch. I love this space, y'all. I am very much someone that loves to be outside, and so any moment of the day that I can be out here on this porch, it really just fills my heart and makes me just feel so good and so happy. So this is an area that on Saturday mornings, my son and I come out here and we snuggle on the sofa, or in the evenings, some nights when we have time, we can. My husband, son, and I will sit out here and we will have dinner. We love it for a couple of reasons. One, we have a wonderful view of a park behind us, which is so peaceful. And then also it's just the privacy of being in our backyard and being surrounded by some of these plants. So I will say, I do not have a green thumb. I do not know how to plant any of the plants, but I do know how to water them. So they are watered frequently. I can handle that. But I love the greenery and I love being surrounded by it. The other thing that I do really enjoy is selecting planters. I don't know if you guys can see back here, but I love finding antique planters and unique ones. So I have collected those over time on my many travels. I even have some on either side of the sofa too. But so this is the sofa that I love snuggling with my 10-year-old on. I'm so glad that he still wants to snuggle mama. It makes my heart so happy. So we'll sit out here and we will read books. We even watch outdoor movies out here. So it's really a place for us that's filled with a lot of our special moments and special memories. And even Biscuit here, when I'm making my morning coffee, Biscuit will run past me or run up to the door, and he will wait at the door until I open it for him, and he'll dart out here, and he's not doing it now, but he will sit on the sofa and just watch people. Like, it's his happy spot too. So it's been a really good area for us to live and enjoy. Welcome to our dining room. This is an area that I feel like a lot of people don't typically use. But a little detail about Nick and I, when we purchased our home, we wanted to make sure we purchased a size of home that was one where we utilized every room. So our dining room is a space that when we were having family over, whether it's for Thanksgiving or just having a few friends over, we actually really utilize it, and we love it in here. So we wanted it to feel like a little bit of a library. I wanted it to have a Moody feel. And so I started with this wonderful bookcase made of bird's eye maple that I found on a buying trip in Atlanta. I got this for a steal. The person was moving out of their booth and they did not want to lug it back across the United States. So I was like, I will put it on my truck and I will take it home. And so here it is. One thing I love is that I painted the inside green because I just love the softness of green, and you'll see that in some of the different areas of my dining room. When I decorated it, again, keeping with the library feel, I used these old wonderful books that came from a company in Atlanta. I wish I could remember the name because I would tell you guys. So we use these wonderful warm books, and then I did a few different details in here, like this wonderful portrait of this older gentleman, just because, again, I feel like a portrait feels very library-esque, and I love layers. So layering in silver and old books and portraits, I felt was really very special. Now, another little detail that's about this cabinet that's fun. This area was left pretty much for my son and I, for him to have fun with. So depending upon the season, it's filled with different types of items. So right now, with it being summer, we are prepared for s'mores and bonfires. In the winter, you're going to find a hot cocoa bar. So that's a little detail that we love in here. Moving around, you are going to notice that in this room, we had added beams. So the original structure had an I-beam right back here, and it was such an eyesore. Whoever built it didn't really take the time to hide it, so it turned into like a fun detail for myself. So I decided, let's add beams. I know that this is only an 8-foot ceiling, but I am not afraid of bringing it down even lower because I think it makes it unique. So I took the I-beam and I boxed it in. I added another beam, and then we added the joist beams, and I think it just gives it a really great Moody vibe, and it feels really good. Especially with the fact that we painted it in this really great blue, which again is the blue that's on our kitchen cabinets and on our pattern on the floor. So I mentioned that I love green, and I love that you'll see more green in this space. So we have this fabulous Pierre Fray wall covering, which I absolutely love, and so does Nick and Augie, which, kind of a funny story. We got the price point back on it, and we were a little like, let's investigate other wallpapers, and I brought samples home. My son looked at the wall samples and said, "Family, we do not like any of these other papers as much as we like this Pierre Fray, and you have told me that when you're going to be in a home forever, you spend it on what you love. So we need this Pierre Fray wallpaper." So we ended up with the Pierre Fray wallpaper, and it was the perfect decision because it makes us all really happy and we enjoy it. So moving about the space, we have back here a chest of drawers that holds all of my napkins, tablecloths, all of those details. So it's great storage. So dining room chairs are something that I feel like can be a little hard to find. I really wanted to save a little bit of money on my dining room chairs. So I actually selected these wonderful rattan chairs that I had sprayed in my own custom color. Again, it's the green. I love the green. It goes so well with our wall covering and just the details in the bookcase. But to customize the chairs a little bit further and make them more interesting, I added these darling slip covers. My love for Pierre Fray did not stop on the walls. That is what this textile is from. It's from Pierre Fray. And one thing I loved about this pattern was that on the bolt, it had a border, and I didn't know about it until I got the fabric. And so when we found out it had a border, there are these wonderful little tie details that we were able to add out of the border material. So it made it even more special. The tablecloth is actually from Pomegranate Home. It's not a custom tablecloth, but I loved the pattern so much that I layered 2 together, and then I draped it down to the floor for just a little bit more of a formal feel, which I love a mix of formality as well as casualness, because I think it's what elevates a home but allows it to still be very comfortable. Now, when you're looking above the table, this is an antique chandelier that I found locally. I was actually eyeing this chandelier for a good year in the shop, and it was too tall for my ceilings. And so I finally said, Amy, you customize all the time. Why are you not customizing the chandelier? So I pulled the trigger, I purchased the chandelier, and I gave it to one of our fabricators to trim down the rods that you see up here so that it would fit my ceiling height. And every day I am so glad that I did that, because I think it's just the perfect mix of, again, a formal and casual feel in my space. So sort of how I told you guys earlier, when I'm shopping, I love to find things that I just love. I was perusing, again, a local antique shop, and I came across this wonderful antique desk. I loved this little gallery rail made of brass. I thought it was so charming and darling. And I loved that this had a leather top and even a wonderful brass detail on the legs. So I said, I'm buying it. I'm finding a home for it. And it turned out to be the most fabulous little bar in our dining room that has really helped complete the whole space. But I have 2 drawers that have a little bit of storage, and I have tucked this wonderful ottoman underneath here. I love mustard, and so I felt like this dining room just needed like that bold bit of mustard in here. So that's kind of tucked under for a layer. But on top of my bar, I will be honest, I've mostly collected just really beautiful bottles, or bottles that I think are beautiful. So I love this one with this rattan base and the wonderful red top to it. I have not opened it. I have not opened half of these, but I think that they make for a fabulous decorative look. With regards to what's above the bar, I found this wonderful antiqued mirror. And again, how I love sort of filling corners with oversized pieces. I really wanted to maximize the height from the floor all the way up to the ceiling. Nick was very adamant at first. He's like, this cannot go here. We're not doing this. It's going to look terrible. I'm like, no, it's going to fit. Like, it's going to fit and be beautiful. And so he finally, he said, all right, do your thing. I did it, and you guys should have seen it during Christmas time. I had garland, I had oranges hanging from it. It was really very spectacular, and I still find it spectacular too without the Christmas decor, but a really great little nook in our house. A lot of my designer friends, I feel like they're very fortunate because they are the ones that make all of the design decisions in their home. I am not one that necessarily gets to do that in my house. My husband, I love him, but he is very, very opinionated when it comes to our home and our design decisions. So we really try to work collaboratively together so that we can both find enjoyment in all of the selections that we're making. But I will say there is definitely a challenge when it comes to some of the selections. And I'm even going to go as far enough to say that some of the rooms of our house are not done yet because we have not necessarily agreed on the selections. And so I just step away until it's time, and then we figure it out. So let's head into my living room. I'm excited to show y'all that space. Welcome to our living room. In our home, this is our main gathering spot. We do not have a family room. We only have a living room, and I still call it a living room because I love the formal feel of that. But when designing this space, I wanted to make sure that one, it had a little bit of a formal feel, but also felt very welcoming. So again, when we have family over and friends, like this is where we're sitting, this is where we're watching TV, this is where we're doing everything. So as you're looking around the room, you're going to see that I've really layered in a lot of seating. I have a wonderful blue velvet sofa that is so comfortable and cozy. I'm a sucker for velvet though. I love velvet. So we're on here all the time. I've also made sure to include club chairs and accent chairs, and again, like a mix of new and old. This chair is a fun one. This actually, some of y'all might recognize it. It came from the Kif Space Show House from Palm Beach last year. So I had it in my room, and I was like, it's definitely making its way to St. Louis because of this darling ruffle and the fabulous color detail that we have. While we're in this corner, I'm going to show you guys something. It's sort of a funny story. As you guys have maybe seen me on Instagram, we have a wonderful following, and I love our followers. And so I had a message come in one day, and a follower said, "Oh my gosh, Amy, you have to click on this link and take a look at this painting. I have found your doppelganger." And I was like, no way. So I click on the link, I go to this auction, and we find this portrait being held for auction. And my mouth just dropped. I showed my husband, he's like, "Oh my gosh, that looks like you. It's like, could be your aunt, it could be your grandmother." And he's like, "We have to buy this." I'm like, no. We don't need to buy it. He goes, "No, we have to buy it, and we're putting it in our living room because it's going to be a conversation piece." And so I said, okay, but I feel a little weird making a conversation about myself in our living room. He goes, "We're doing it." So we did it. We won by like just a split second, to the point where I almost wanted to tell the other person, like, "Do you understand? Like, this portrait looks like me. Please back off." But we got the painting. So we got the painting and we hung it, and it truly has been a conversational piece. People are always asking, "Is that your grandmother? Is that your mom?" But no, I don't know who she is. I would love to know the history of her though, and I keep telling myself that someday I am going to see if I can track her down, because it is a signed painting. So we'll see if I can figure it out one day. I do joke though that on the other side, which we do not currently have a piece of art, I think I mentioned earlier, as a designer, my house will probably continue to be added upon. I sort of joke that I need to find Nick's doppelganger so that he can have his portrait over there too. So maybe one day, if y'all see a piece, send it my way. So over here, this is a console table that we had made, and I really use it to be able to, of course, put our portraits, our family out, special pieces to me. I love silver items. I love interesting items. This one spoke to me because it had the little lion head with the ring on it. And so I'm very much just a collector of things that are small and tiny and cute. And so I would say I'm a maximalist for sure, because I can keep layering in the accessories, even just layering in books. I love the ottomans that are below here on my console table. And then of course, like, I just layer them with books to just make it more and more full. I think it's really makes a cozy space. So when I am out shopping, I really enjoy a portrait, as I had mentioned to you guys, in my dining room. And so we decided to add additional portraits to the one that looks like me to the room. So this painting is affectionately called Fish Boy. And when my son sometimes forgets that there's a painting above the sofa and he flips his legs, we are always like, "Watch out for Fish Boy." And he's like, "Oh, sorry, Fish Boy." And so we talk to Fish Boy as if he is a living human being. But he's been really wonderful above our sofa. And then I flanked Fish Boy with intaglios. I find intaglios to be very interesting. And so I felt like this was a really quiet moment with an intaglio next to such a striking piece above the sofa. Which then you guys can see I furthermore flanked with brass sconces. I just love like a really good full wall, and I love, like I said, levels of lighting. I think it's very important in a home to have levels of lighting, and so you'll see lots of the different lights with the sconces and the lamps, and then again overhead lights. My cocktail table. So, kind of a funny story. You know how most people are telling their children, "Be careful, don't scratch this, don't mess this up." I really don't ever have to say that to my son. And so we got this cocktail table. It has a wonderful sheen to it. I accessorized everything. And within the first year, I was the one to damage the table. So I have damaged it not once, but twice on accident with various things. But I am someone that's just live in your house, enjoy it, don't worry about your items. and it will carry on and be beautiful. So if you happen to see a couple of spots, that is from me. I'm the one that did that. But what I have done with the cocktail table is I have layered accessories. So I have wonderful things like this rattan box. I think blue and white is always very interesting, and I love a little silver cap. Even though some might put this in just a dining room, I don't feel that pieces have to necessarily be in just one space because it's a serving piece. So I put it in here to keep it interesting. We have orchids, and I don't use a lot of candles, but this one scent is fabulous. So I have a little candle in here too. So when talking about lights, I think that detail is very important, not only in the type of lamp that you select, but a really wonderful shade as well. So it actually took me, I've had these lamps for several years, it actually took me 2 years to find the appropriate textile, and y'all are just in time because they arrived 3 days ago. So now we've been enjoying these wonderful chinoiserie lamps with this great rose coming textile. It's actually a discontinued textile, and I was very excited to get my hands on it to make these fabulous shades. Now I'm going to take you back here to this little vignette of our living room. So this is, as so many things in our home, this is special to me. This was a wonderful antique Italian commode that I found out while shopping. And again, I didn't know exactly where it was going to go, but I was so in love with it and felt that it was so special that I had to purchase it. So I brought it home and placed it back here, and it was absolutely perfect. So I love this, all this marquetry detail. I think it's very special. It's unique. The fabulous marble old top just, I think, tells so much history. So I love seeing the imperfections. I love seeing the dings and nicks. I think it's just very warm. So what I've done though too is I've layered a few accessories on it, brought over another portrait. And here I layered the portrait with a very simple mirror from Restoration Hardware. Again, sort of mixing informal with formal, I think creates a wonderful casual feel. Oh, my boxes. Okay, you guys, I have these 2 wood boxes, and I have to show you this one. I'm sure there are other rounded boxes out there, but with how much I travel and shop, I honestly do not see this wonderful shape often at all. And so when I saw this, I had to get it, and it's so pretty. It's red silk lined and has this wonderful little tassel and key. So the details, I think they're so important. These are a wonderful pair of antique Italian chairs. So there were a set of 6. I only needed 2 because, in all honesty, these are super low, so you really cannot sit at a dining table with these. So I was able to purchase just 2 of these chairs and make them a really little kind of fabulous vignette. So one, it creates a really wonderful space over in this corner, but 2, they're easy to move, so I can easily pick this up and put it into the area of a conversation so that when we're having family, we can entertain. This little pillow, I'll show you guys too. This is why we can't have nice things. This was another little Kips Bay detail that we had in the room, and so I brought it home and thought it was perfect to have right here. Now, talking about lamps again, I have to show you this because again, I love so much lighting. These are the most darling little rechargeable lamps I have ever seen. I know the market is flooded with lamps right now, but the brass shade is fantastic. The brass base and the brass base down here. So all you do is like touch it on and off. It's so amazing. I also, oh yeah, wait, you guys, you can adjust the head too. So we take these all over the house. Like if we're going out for the evening, I just pick them up, we go outside, we put them here. So they're like little travelers with us. It's perfect for entertaining. I would love to show you all my second level. So let's head on upstairs now. Welcome to our second level foyer. So many homes on the second level that we were looking at had pretty much a hallway only directed to all the different rooms. But this one had this wonderful space at the top, something that I could actually call pretty much a room and a full second level foyer. So I think it feels more like a place that you want to go to upstairs. It's not like you just go up the stairs and have to go into a room. You can kind of go up here and hang out in this space. So it's been wonderful to be able to fill it with furniture. I'll show you this piece over here. So this was, again, another Atlanta find when I was shopping. I saw it, I felt like I just had to have it because I loved this detail of the framework, I loved the hardware, and even just the unique size. And so purchased it, brought it back home, placed it here, and then we've made it even a little bit more special by what I keep inside. So these, I'm not one to like put out the magazines we're in or really talk about them, but this is where I keep them. So they're all kind of tucked away, but anything that's been special for our company is placed in here. And so it's really like a wonderful little piece that we call the archive. So this is the archive. And on top of the archive chest, we have this great little bowl. Let me show it to you guys. So this is, some people call it a rose bowl. And on the top, it has this silver frog. And so this silver frog is, of course, like to help hold stems in place. And I rarely find one that is of this size. So this was a piece I was excited to find. Now I'm going to move you about in here. You're going to notice on the walls that we have the applied molding that was brought up from the foyer. And, you know, it really just made the space, again, feel bigger and feel very interesting because I love to design walls, floors, and ceilings. And so my walls really captured a lot of the molding. And then on the floors, we did, again, the white to bounce light. But here I left it very plain. I did not want to pattern up here because I just felt the softness of the white was wonderful. We have this antique mirror that, again, I found on a buying trip when Atlanta. And so it's that oversized statement again that I think makes a space feel fantastic. We have a whole nother side that I will take you down to. So this will lead to the front of the house. At one point in time, we were going to turn this window into a pair of doors, as we do have a structural balcony out there. We haven't gotten to that yet, so maybe one day. If not, we have been known to crawl out this window to sit outside on the balcony, my son and I. But we have it flanked with this beautiful vervain textile in this wonderful block pattern that I think feels so soft up here. This china hutch, which I have to show y'all, came from a company called the Resplendent Crow. The company takes vintage pieces and lacquers them. And so I selected my paint color and had this piece lacquered. And so what I have been doing with this cabinet is, over time, filling it with creamware and other white pieces that I just love and I find when I'm traveling. So these were a recent purchase. These darling little bowls, I found them so cute. I had to have them. And so I placed them in this cabinet. So this cabinet will be a work in progress over many years, which I'm okay with. You know, things happen in time, but it's a piece that I really love and fills the space nicely. You will see that I added sconces to flank the sides of the cabinet. So I have overhead decorative lighting, but to bring down some of those lower levels of light, I thought that a pair of sconces would be wonderful for in here. And you know, going back to like a decorative shade, I used this darling blue and white striped little floral pattern, which I think enhances the space nicely. So to really round out this space, I have this really great chair. I love the curves and the lines of it, and I had it recovered in this bold Pierre Frey textile. I think the pink is fabulous, and I love a really rich pink. So to kind of play out the vignette, y'all will see that I have these great pieces of art that are drawings of antique chairs. So I felt like this whole little vignette felt really lovely together and finished this side of the room. Another fabulous space that's very special to me is our winter room. So let's go in there. I can't wait to show you all that space too. Welcome to our winter room. So this is the only room in the home that has a name, and I love to tell the story of how it received its name. You all saw our sun porch, or our screened-in porch in the back, where I was saying that my son and I, a lot of times at the weekends, we wake up in the morning, we go down there, we snuggle. So when we were deciding what to do with this space, we felt like it could, one, be a guest room for our moms, because our moms do come and stay with us at times. But then my son said, Mama, it can be our winter room. It's where we will go snuggle in the winter when it's too cold to be on the porch. And so I was like, okay, we are calling it the winter room, buddy. Like, this is our space. So welcome to our winter room. This room really came about with regards to design after doing the Kip Space Show House last year. So this wonderful canopy that I have here was in our show house. And so I just felt like I needed to have it here. And what I love and find very interesting with this canopy bed is, traditionally, of course, you will see a bed coming out from a wall and not running parallel to a wall. But I felt like running the bed parallel gave the space more of a luxurious feel and was something unique and different. When we are in here reading or hanging out, my son and I really do, we love to look out the window, and we love just to talk about what's going on outside and see what's happening. And so it's been a really wonderful, cozy space. To further make it cozy, I really looked at the textiles. And so when I selected the textiles, I found this fabulous silk from Cowton & Tout in this blush. And I feel like blush is such a wonderful color to sit in because it enhances your skin, it makes you feel warm. And so it really added to the specialness of this space. One thing you guys are also going to notice is there are sconces inside the bed so that we can turn on special light in there. However, they are not just sconces, they are lamps. And the drapery kind of hides the fact that they're lamps, but it works out really well. So we've added some more lighting in that space. The little chair in the room is one that actually matches the chair downstairs in the living room. It's its friend, but I did it in this, again, this wonderful mustard color, and it's a velvet, and it's just, oh gosh, it just feels so soft and fantastic. And so sometimes I will come in here and sit. Biscuit also loves sitting here. So if this pillow is not here, you will find Biscuit running in and hopping on this and just sitting here and watching us as we come and go in the hallway. So he loves this room too. This marble table is something I found at a great antique shop called Foxglove Antiques. I saw it and I just said, it's the cutest thing. It's going with us and I'm going to find a home for it. And so it landed here in this room next to the chair. I think they're the perfect size and scale. This is a great little chest. So this is actually from the Resplendent Crow, who did the same piece in my foyer. And again, I love that I could select my own coloring. This is Greek Villa. Done in a high sheen, and I think it's an absolutely beautiful color next to the original brass of the piece. I know one thing that really drew me to this was that the unique features of one type of hardware up here and one type of hardware down here, because I think it gives it a really warm feel. I keep some special items in here, and so this has been a good little piece. Outside of using this room as our guest room and snuggle room, I also do my hair and makeup in here every day. I love enjoying each space, and I find it to be really important to be able to go into the spaces that I've created and spent so much time making wonderful for us. So I do my hair and makeup in here every day. I'm going to show you this charming little chair. So again, my love for Pierre Frey did not stop downstairs. I found this wonderful textile from them, and I had this super cute little skirt made for the Chiavari chair, topped it with a cushion, and you'll see the little back detail with a wonderful ruffle at the bottom just to make it extra special. I also use a textile again on the shades. I don't do it to every shade, but I think there are some shades that are really special when you have that detail. And so I loved this pink and white stripe against the floral textile that I have on my walls, which actually you guys might be interested in that. So I love I find like wall coverings are great, like actual paper coverings, but you can really use any textile as well. You just have to have it backed, and then you can make it a wall covering. And so if you were to feel my my wall covering, you would notice that it is a textile that was backed. And I think just the fact of having that weave on the wall really warms the space up. So I think it's been a fun little detail in this space. I have to show you guys one more thing in this space. This is Kip, and his full name is Kip the Whip. So he was, again, a part of our show house in Palm Beach, and because it was called the Kip's Bay, his name was Kip, and because he's a whip, so the whole thing, it was really cute. But Kip had to come home with me. After he had a name, I couldn't leave him. I felt like I was leaving a child in Palm Beach. So I'm like, Kip, you gotta come home with me, buddy. And so he is here now, and he sits in this room and watches over us when Biscuit is not in here watching over us. Well, Homeworthy, thank you so much for coming to tour my home with me. I have very much enjoyed sharing it with you. Until next time, thank you.
Hi, Homeworthy. My name is Claire. Welcome to my apartment in Los Angeles, California. Let me show you around.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, my name is Claire Randolph, and I'm a lifestyle and interior design content creator on TikTok. We're here at my apartment in Los Angeles, California. So I lived in this apartment building for 2 years before we moved into this unit. I lived in a smaller unit that was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and now we're in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, which is definitely an upgrade, especially when you live with a man. We were originally looking for a different apartment in a different building in a different part of Los Angeles, but we decided to stay in this building because of the views. They're spectacular. This building is amazing. Every unit has incredible views, but this one kind of has like a 90-degree view all the way from downtown to Hollywood, which is pretty amazing, especially at night. And the layout is so nice. I feel like the layout of this apartment is so unique. The 2 bedrooms are spread out enough to where, you know, if you have guests, you can't hear each other. You know, if like you're watching a movie at night and you don't want your TV to be too loud, it's like it's spread apart enough for it to be comfortable. And then this living area is just so nice for entertaining. Everything's in the same room. It's so open. You can have people watching TV and sitting at the bar and sitting at the table over there, all in the same space, and it feels like everyone's together versus all in different rooms. So this is my entryway. This is the first thing that you see when you enter the apartment, obviously. I had a hard time doing this space. I actually just got finished doing it. It's so small, I wasn't really even sure if a table would fit here, but I found this great one from Walmart actually, and I'm not really a distressed girl when it comes to furniture most of the time, but this one spoke to me for some reason. And then this mirror I had already, I didn't have a place to put it. It's from One Kings Lane. I love One Kings Lane. You'll see a lot of that throughout the rest of the house. And then these have to be one of my, maybe the favorite thing in my entryway. I got these off of Amazon, and they're completely battery powered with a remote. And so you don't have to hardwire them into the wall. You just have to screw them in. This is definitely the most renter friendly hack I've come across so far, I think. And they have so many different options too. Like you can really like get deep into it. And then I just styled with some, I have these baskets under here that we put our like work bags in sometimes. I have these beautiful vases that I thrifted. I'm obsessed with them. I've had them in like my last 3 apartments, I think. And they're so pretty when you have flowers in them. And then one of my favorite artists, Jen Thatcher, she's out of Dallas and she makes the most beautiful art. So I have this cute little piece from her here. And then we have this armoire here, which honestly is probably too big for the space, but I keep all of my holiday decorations in here, so the storage is much needed. I wouldn't know what to do without this, so this stays here. Okay, so let's go check out the main living space now. So you come down this long hall. We have a laundry room right here, an extra storage closet here. I have this beautiful piece of art that my mom actually painted. She paints, and you'll definitely see a lot of her pieces throughout the rest of the tour in my apartment. I love her pieces. She's so talented. And then we have my bar cart here, which is being watched over by Mr. JFK, smoking a cigar. I love this photo. I've had this photo for such a long time, and I didn't have it framed until recently, and I love the vibes that it adds. I'm not like a huge fan of black and white photography, but I think this is fun, and I love it over the bar cart. And then bar carts are meant to be fun. I obviously have a million things on here. I have my Estelle glasses, which are one of my favorite brands ever. I have so many of them. They're so fun. They add so much color to a tablescape, and they make something so boring, which is a glass of wine, fun with these colors, and they have so many different ones you can choose from. You'll notice through the rest of the video, I am a collector of many things, and matchbooks is one of them. I have so many. Just a fun thing to add, like a little personal touch, you know, when you have matchbooks from restaurants you've been to, and you know, associated with memories and fun stuff like that. We're obviously tequila drinkers in this house. There's not much other than tequila. I think we have like tequila, vodka, and Aperol, and that's it. So you better like tequila, vodka, or Aperol, because that's what you're getting when you come over here. Or Veuve, that's also always an option. I love to decorate with the bottles. I think the bottles are so unique and fun, and like, why would you put them away when they're so beautiful? I have this fun little bottle stand down here. I think that's actually meant for wine, but I have tequila in it. This is a fun home goods find. I love a good home goods find, you'll see. And then on top, I have this cute little Japanese tea set that I thrifted, which I think is so cute. I used to have tea sets like that when I was a kid, and I'm like, why not buy them and decorate with them? It's so much fun. And then the piece that houses all of this stuff, this beautiful bar cart that I got from Serena and Lily. I love Serena and Lily. I actually got this on Marketplace. It was brand new in the box for $75. And they still have it on their website for, I think, like $1,200. So it was a good steal. And then coming into my kitchen, we have this massive, I think 12-foot island. I think it's 12 feet. It's so hard to clean. Every single night when I cook, I hate cleaning this island. But I mean, there's only so much you can do with the space. So I have these I have a cute little basket here with my fruit. And then when I have like excess produce and stuff, I take these out and the fruit goes into here. And then a little orchid, and then a little easy access of cocktail napkins, which is a necessity in this house. I love cocktail napkins. That's another thing I like to collect, weirdly enough. Okay, and then if you come over here, this is like our cooking area. We have all the great prep area back here, and then over here is kind of where we just do more of the cooking. So over here is where I have all the cookbooks and all of the salt and pepper and olive oil and vinegars and everything you could need, easy access. I like that. And when I say that I like spaces that look lived in, like this is what I'm talking about. I like when you have your salt out and you have your oils out and it looks like a kitchen that's lived in. I feel like a lot of people have very sterile kitchens, and there's just like nothing warm about that. And this is also such a new build and so modern. It's really not my taste. I would never pick out these cabinets or, you know, things like that, but there's easy ways to make things look good. I added these pools that I got off of Amazon. These were not the original pools, but like things like this make such a huge difference in such a sterile new build apartment like this, where it's so modern, because it could not be any further from my taste. I like to clutter things around because I feel like it takes away from that modernness, if that's a word. I'm a collector of Mackenzie Childs. I love Mackenzie Childs. I don't know if that's a Southern thing. I don't know. I love it. I think it's so fun. I got this pink tea kettle like a few months ago, and I'm obsessed with it. I don't even drink tea. My boyfriend, we're at Bloomingdale's buying this, and he's like, we don't even drink tea. And I'm like, I know, it's a decoration. And then I have my little cute Mackenzie Child spoon rest, my knives, and my coffee bar over here. The Nespresso is the best thing ever. It's like something you like start and you never stop. It's kind of addicting. But I just have like my coffee pods and stuff, and these cute little Mackenzie Childs containers. And then this is actually like a cute little, I have honey packets in it now, but it's a little cream dispenser out of the cow, which I got at an antique store. And then in this is another like little creamer thing, but I put like in here for like tea. I have lavender and rose petals in here. And sometimes I use them to garnish my cocktails. So I have 2 rugs going down this long hallway. Honestly, when we moved in, I was looking for rugs like super fast. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to HomeGoods and buy rugs because we need rugs and then I'll gradually replace them. But these have stayed. I got these at HomeGoods. They're cute little like Rifle Paper Co. Runners, and they didn't have one that was long enough. So I was like, I'm just gonna put 2 down. And I still like it, so they stay. Another cute little fun item I have from Wheezy Towels is this little dish towel that says Leap by 9, and it has stains on it. I was obviously not very prepared for Homeworthy with that, but that's from Wheezy. I love Wheezy. You'll see Wheezy everywhere. This is one last thing. This is random, but my chicken soap, I'm obsessed with it. I got it. I don't even remember where I got this, but I was like, I have to have this chicken soap. I love it. In like 2015, I started this thing that was kind of new at the time called a blog. And I would do, you know, some interior stuff, but mostly fashion. That's what got me into the influencer space, I guess, especially being in Dallas at the time. There were so many bloggers in that area. I continued to do that for about 3 years. And then I moved to Los Angeles for school. I went to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in downtown LA. And I majored in social media, which is known as digital marketing now. My background in blogging inspired me to do that for school. So I went through 4 years there and I got my bachelor's degree in digital marketing, and I started to work I was working in PR, and then I was doing social media for some different brands and influencers and companies. And I was thinking to myself, why am I wasting all of my knowledge and all of these skills on other people when I could be doing it myself? So in January of 2023, I started my TikTok page, and the first video like surprisingly did well. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna post a second video. And then it's just kept going from there. So coming over here into our dining area, this is one of my other favorite spaces in the apartment. I had this 9-foot-long buffet credenza in my old apartment because we had a crazy long like entry hallway, and this is the only thing that like made sense in the space. So one of the requirements when we were picking out this apartment is that I had to have a wall where this could fit, and this was the only wall it fit in the whole apartment. So it is here, and it works out great because when I have people over and we're sitting here, I can put food here, I can remove this stuff and put food there, and it's like it works as an actual buffet, so it's nice. And it also is great storage. It houses a lot of my arts and crafts and my cocktail napkins from my cocktail napkin addiction. A huge focal point of this room are these paintings by Haley Mitchell. She's a Dallas-based artist. As you can tell, I love having Dallas-based artists in my home. I think it's fun because I'm from Dallas and there's so many talented artists there that make amazing paintings. So I like to make the joke that this is me and this is my boyfriend Parker. But it's definitely something I get the most comments on my TikToks is, where did you get your art? Where did you get your art? And you know what? I think I can go out on the limb and say they're my favorite thing in this home. I love these paintings. Love, love, love. And then coming down from the paintings, how I have this credenza decorated. I love having picture frames all over. I have photos of family and friends, and I think that's just another thing that adds so much character to your home is all these amazing memories that you have being on display. Obviously a ginger jar. I have so many ginger jars throughout my home, you'll see, but this is one of my favorites. I got this at HomeGoods, but it actually looks like so real. My mom is a professional at ginger jars, and she got this at HomeGoods, and she was like, oh my gosh, you have to go to your HomeGoods and see if they have this because it looks like a real one. And it does, it looks really nice. It's a good ginger jar. And then I think everybody might have these in their home that has my decor taste. These lamps also from HomeGoods. I'm saying HomeGoods a lot, but I love HomeGoods. These lamps, everyone wants them. Everyone is like, where is your lamp from? Where are your lamps from? And I see them in so many other people's house, but they're so fun. They give me like kind of like retro, like country club vibes. I love these lamps, and they look amazing at night too with the light coming out of the wicker. And then continuing down, I have more photos. I have this artichoke here, which I said I'm a collector of many things. That's just something I've started collecting. I have a few random artichokes all over the apartment. I don't know why, I think it's fun. So I have that, and then another little painting that I actually painted. I painted this painting on a rainy day. I think I was bored, but just another example of you don't have to have a lot of money to make your space look nice. I literally used my watercolors that I had at home and made this. So you can always make your own decor yourself. Keep that in mind. These amazing chairs I have in here, I actually got from Target. I was looking for like Chippendale style bamboo chairs for a long time, and they were crazy expensive. I was about to buy the ones from Birch Lane because there were no other options. And then I found these miraculously. There were only 4 left on Target.com, and I bought them, and I'm obsessed with them. I think they're so chic, and they add so much character to the dining room. And then I have this amazing vase. I am obsessed with this vase. I always have it filled with Trader Joe's hydrangeas. I love Trader Joe's flowers. They're the best, they're the cheapest. Actually, all the flowers in here that you see today are from Trader Joe's, and I did them myself. But these are always in here. I always have hydrangeas in this vase. It's too pretty not to. And then obviously we have this beautiful light. My boyfriend and his dad own a lighting company called SPJ Lighting based out of LA, and they made this beautiful fixture for me. I designed it, and they built it and made it and hung it, and I'm so thankful. It's so beautiful. And then this is kind of a random corner I didn't really know what to do with, so I just have a chair there for now. I have this beautiful, I got these John Richards chairs on Marketplace. It's another amazing Marketplace find, and I'll tell you how much I got them for because it's a brag. I got them for I think $300. I have 2. I have another one in my guest bedroom that you'll see later. I got both of these for I think $350, and they retail online for $2,800 a piece. And I got them at this like estate sale off Facebook Marketplace. So this is another very proud find of mine. I will always toot my own horn on how I got these 2 chairs for $350. Then I have this cute kind of little Greek style pillow that was actually like in my childhood bedroom. And then I love these cute little Furbish needlepoint pillows. This one says my favorite thing to make for dinner is reservations, which is true, but I thought it was a cute little kitschy saying to have in the dining room. And then above the chair, I have people always ask me, this is another thing that is the most asked question, is who makes this art? And I don't know, I bought it at Home Goods. It's another Home Goods thing. But above here, this is a work of art by Paige Gemmell. She makes a lot of beautiful prints like this, and I'm obsessed with that one. I will always have that painting. I think my favorite room slash space in my apartment is definitely the living area. I don't even know what you would call it. The living room, kitchen, dining room, bar, hybrid. It's where we spend the most of our time, you know, watching football games, having cocktail nights, and a lot of great memories are made around this island right here. So I think that's my favorite room for that reason. In my old apartment in this building, everything, all the furniture was kind of pushed up against the wall, and now everything's kind of floating and airy, and you can walk through everything, and that's something that I love about this room. And then right off the dining kitchen area, we have our living room, which is definitely where we spend most of our time. We have this huge sofa that we actually got at Living Spaces. And you know what? It's been a good sofa. Despite being a cheap sofa, it was a good sofa. In our old unit, we had to have really specific measurements and a really specific, like the chase had to be on the left side. So we looked forever for a sofa, and this is really the only one we could find, but it's a great sofa. Living Spaces makes great sofas, surprisingly. And then I have this shelf here that I actually got from IKEA and spray painted. These have come with me to many apartments too, and they're kind of thrashed, so don't zoom in too far. But I have on top, I needed height because our ceilings are so tall. I think we have 12-foot either 10 or 12-foot ceilings, I'm not sure. But they're really high, so I have to kind of like go upwards with a lot of stuff. So I have ginger jars up here. And then these are my grandmother's Staffordshire dogs that she gave me. I'm very honored. They were always in her house, and she bought them at one of our favorite stores in Dallas called Sample House back in the day. And now they live with me in LA. And then I just have a lot of fun stuff on here. Candles, lots of photos, lots of blue and white chinoiserie pieces. I have my boyfriend's hole-in-one. We have to make it look like he does live here. We have to give a little bit of proof. So this is my way of giving a little bit of proof. And then I also have like some little golf things kind of like sprinkled around. But I love decorating with like his awards and stuff. I think it's fun. It's another thing that adds character. And then one of my favorite things to talk about, I think I could talk about it forever, is pillows. These are always changing. I'm always changing these. I got these at HomeGoods. I love these. They're so pretty. And at HomeGoods, you can like really find good pillows if you look. They have like so many Ralph Lauren ones and amazing brands. You just have to look at the tags, you have to look at the brands. And usually at HomeGoods, when things are more expensive, it means it's nicer. So also look at the tag and you can be like, oh, this is kind of expensive for HomeGoods. And then look up the brand and you find that you got, you know, a $200 pillow for like $80, which is amazing. And then I'm pretty sure these leopard ones are from Little Design Co., but don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. I've had these for a long time too. These were also in my bedroom when I lived at home, along with the pink one over there. And then I have these beautiful pillows. You're gonna see a lot of pillows from this brand throughout the rest of my apartment, but I got these from an Etsy shop called Indulgence Decor. They make everything custom. They do all this beautiful trim work on everything, and you can customize the sizes, you can customize what fabric you want to go with what trim, and it's really personal, and it's a great company, and they're super fast. And then another HomeGoods pillow. I love this color. I feel like this pillow, I've had this for a long time. I've always felt like it ties in my blue paintings that are in my dining room. So I love having this on the sofa. And then obviously lots of cozy blankets. My boyfriend is always laying here watching sports, so we have to make sure he's comfortable. And then I have this coffee table that was another Facebook Marketplace find when we moved into our last apartment. And it's not typically something I would usually pick out, but I do love it. I love like the architecture of it. I think it's like modern, kind of in a traditional way, which I like. And I just have some fun books and always have to have a candle. I have a tray for my remotes. This is all about like functionality, and then I just have like some books. And then I have this amazing Barbie book that I got after seeing the Barbie movie because, like the rest of America, I was radicalized by the Barbie movie. And Margot Robbie and her stylist actually made this book of all of her press tour looks from the movie. So it's really fun, and I'm always flipping it to different pages to give the room different vibes. And then I have these beautiful gray and white leopard chairs from One Kings Lane. I love these chairs. They're so comfortable. They are chairs, but they can also be pieces to a sectional. So they're really deep and they're really comfortable, and you can like put your feet up in these chairs. And my boyfriend's always sitting on the couch facing the TV, and I'm always sitting here like looking at the view. So I have two of them, and I have them separated by this just a cute little like cocktail table to put your drink on. And then we love to play games, backgammon and gin specifically. So I have all of our games down here. And then if you want to play Cards Against the Kardashians, that's always an option, which is a really fun and kind of vulgar game, honestly. I have these really fun beaded chinoiserie pillows in each chair, and different blankets on the back of each, just because I felt like there was too much symmetry. So if you look at the little cocktail table, I have more of my matches that I have collected over the years. And I have these cute little Texas coasters that I got at a thrift store somewhere. I don't remember where, but I love to have little Texas, like nods to Texas sitting around. I think it's fun. Diptyque candle. I'm obsessed with Diptyque. I'm sure you'll notice that throughout the rest of the video too, but I'm obsessed with Diptyque candles. I think they are the most quality candle you can buy. Even though they're expensive, they're worth the money. And then behind these chairs, we have one of the newest pieces in this apartment, which is this antique serpentine solid mahogany buffet table. I had looked for a piece like this for so long, just like on Facebook Marketplace and at antique stores, and I couldn't find the right one. I couldn't find one that I loved or one that's like at the right price point, because these can be like thousands and thousands of dollars. But I ended up getting this one on Facebook Marketplace. It's the guy who I bought it from told me it's from like the end of the 1800s. So I don't know if that's true, but we'll take his word for it. And then I have a lot of coffee table books on this piece. I love coffee table books that tell a story. Just everything that, you know, we love and everything that my boyfriend loves, everything we love as a couple. Taylor Swift, I love Hill House. We have Chanel and Saint Laurent. I have a Paramount book here because my boyfriend's grandfather was actually the president of Paramount Studios for many years. So that's like a fun nod to his family. And I actually found that at an antique store too, which is so fun. And then again, just a lot of photo frames and this fun tray that I bought at Home Goods as well that reminded me of Gucci with the little buckles on the side. More Staffordshire dogs. I love Staffordshire dogs. I think such a fun thing to collect. Obviously, I've told you already, I'm a collector. I love stuff like that. It gets me excited. And then more books, like I said, golf books. I have these like vintage golf books and then a lot of blue and white, and Veranda is one of my favorite magazines to read. And then I have another piece of art here from Jen Thatcher. Her pieces are so beautiful. Same artist as the piece in my entryway, but she makes these beautiful like little tiny tabletop pieces, which I think is fun because when you have so many photo frames around, it's nice to like have a mix up. Like, okay, here's a frame with a piece of art in it, you know? So it's like not so busy with the photos, but love Jen Thatcher. Then I have this beautiful mirror here that is a dupe for some designer that I don't remember the name of, but I got it at Home Goods as well. And I love the texture it adds. I love like the ruffly white. I like the white on white. This is where I do all of my OOTDs on TikTok that no one cares about because they're like, girl, we're here for decorating, not your outfits. A lot of people ask me what I would call my decor style, and I think that's kind of a loaded question because I don't really even know myself, but I think the closest word for it would probably be grand millennial. I also take a lot of inspiration from growing up in Dallas and growing up in the South. You know, my mom was always decorating and going to antique shops and picking out amazing ginger jars, and I take a lot of inspiration from that. I think my favorite home design tip that I have to share with, you know, people and my followers is that you do not have to have a lot of money to make your space look good. There is Facebook Marketplace and there's Home Goods, and I mean, even I have stuff from Walmart in my apartment. You know, it's all about your taste. It has nothing to do with spending a bunch of money, going to thrift stores, going to antique stores. That's my biggest piece of advice, is that you do not have to have a lot of money to make your space look nice. So this is my guest bedroom. If you are one of my guests, this is where you would be staying. I got this really cute table from One Kings Lane. I needed a tiny, tiny table here. I just felt like it needed something and I didn't know what else I could do in this corner. So I got this great table and I love it. And then just kind of styled it. I have more of my boyfriend's golf trophies and this really fun mushroom art that kind of matches the horse art in the dining room. And then right above is this beautiful mirror. It's one of my favorite things in this apartment. I know I'm probably saying that about everything, but I love this mirror. It's actually from Amazon, but it's a dupe for a mirror that Horchow does for way more expensive. So I was so happy to find this, and it's such beautiful quality. And then in the guest bedroom, I I decided to do a desk in here just so this space wasn't like completely unusable to us. So I have the desk underneath the TV, like instead of where a dresser would go, which is nice because I do come in here and I use the desk and you know, you can close the door and have your privacy. Photos everywhere of everyone and everything. And then I have my second John Richards chair here with another cute little furbish pillow that says, "Mom, I am a rich man," from Cher, of course. And then in here, you can actually see the back of this chair better. You can't see it in the dining room, but the back of this chair is like a beautiful mirrored design on the back. And then instead of a nightstand in here, I decided to do a shelf because I was saying earlier, I like to really play on height in this apartment because the ceilings are so high. So it still works as a nightstand. There's a lamp on it and you can still put your drink on the side or put your phone on the side if you need to, but it just adds a little bit more height. And using shelves as nightstands is something I've done before, and I really like how it looks, especially if you have room to do two on either side. It's really beautiful symmetry. And then this bed I've had for a long time. It was my bed before my boyfriend and I moved in together. So we reused it, and I have these beautiful pillows on here, again, from Indulgence Decor on Etsy. They do, once again, beautiful custom pillows. Whatever you want, they'll make it. And I love the ones in here. I love the light blue with the pink and how all the colors play in. And then they helped me design these, and they helped me pick out this beautiful navy pillow in the front that has this like kind of mustard edging around the sides. I love Indulgence Decor pillows. And then in the guest room, I wanted to do really nice linens because obviously it's for guests and you want to treat your guests better than you treat yourself. So I have this really beautiful linen quilt on top with this gorgeous pink kind of textured duvet that's filled with feathers, so it's extra comfortable for when the guests come and stay. And then if you want to follow me into the guest bathroom, you kind of go down this hall. It's disconnected from the guest bedroom, which is nice because then you have a little bit of a powder room when people come over and they don't have to walk into the guest bed. As you walk in, I have this gorgeous Lily and August painting that I got from One Kings Lane. It's like a green abstract. And if you walk in further, you can tell that I kind of played on the greens and pinks in this bathroom and a lot of tan. I had this vanity. I miss this vanity. I used to have this vanity in my bathroom, but it doesn't fit in my new one. So I have it in the guest bathroom, and it is so nice. I've heard from when guests come and stay, they like, if it's two people, they like have their separate space of the countertop for getting ready. And then another main focal point in my bathroom are these Wheezy towels. Wheezy is the best. They're so great with customizations. They did half of these in my initials and half of them in my boyfriend's initials because we don't share a last name, so we couldn't do the same one. So in both of our bathrooms, you'll see we have like separate towels, which I think is really fun. But Wheezy is the best. They're the best towels. They're so soft. Such a great company. I love working with them. Again, playing off of the greens and pinks, the shower curtain is obviously doing that for us. And I have it hanging on these cute little brass hooks that I feel like add an extra little element of design in here. And then it also matches this amazing Chanel artwork that I bought from this man at Melrose Trading Post in LA. And he told me that this painting was hanging at Paris Fashion Week. I don't know even what year it would have been, but that's what he told me. And it does have all the stamps of approval and stuff on it, but honestly, who knows? I took it to Michael's and I had it framed and I did like an orange mat and a gold frame, but I will always have this piece. I think it's so fun and I love it. I also have this really fun piece of photography from GRANDMILLENNIAL of these Dalmatians sitting down at the Beverly Hills Hotel for some lunch, which is something I love to do. So I relate to these Dalmatians. I just think it's fun. I love GRANDMILLENNIAL. I think he has amazing photography, and specifically the Beverly Hills Hotel collection is spectacular. Over here, I have some more art. I got this, I think I got this at Melrose Trading Post too. This really cool like Vogue golf inspired print that I think is so fun, and I love the colors, and anything to add golf into the house I will always do. My boyfriend loves golf and he has a say too in this girly apartment. Down on the vanity, I like to just keep it simple. I have napkins for drying your hands. so people don't use the Wheezy towels to dry their hands. And then for when guests come, I have, you know, Q-tips and flowers and a little lamp that you can turn on so you can find your way in the middle of the night. And then soap. And my favorite candle, I got this off of a TikTok shop actually. I am obsessed with this candle. Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. I think it's so funny. And now come with me and we'll check out the primary bedroom. So coming into our bedroom, I call this bedroom the blue and green room because these pillows are the first thing that I started with. These are the first things I bought. These are from Indulgence Decor, again, on Etsy. They're custom. I love the paneling on these blue ones. I wanted paneled pillows and they sent me a bunch of swatches and I had these done. And then I also had this beautiful bolster pillow done that's really long. And I love the colors in this. I love the tie-in of the green. And then my comforter is from William Morris. I love all of William Morris's prints and fabrics. And I fell in love with this one. I love that it adds like a little bit of yellow to the room. So the bed's not fully all blue and green, because if you look under, the rug is also blue and white. So it's a lot of blue going on. So I wanted to kind of like chop that up a little bit. And then the art above the bed, I got from this like warehouse sale in Van Nuys, like random, a long time ago. And I thought they were pretty. They're a little bit beat up, but I love them. I like how they're kind of like matted and they have linen behind them and just a little crystal moment. I think it's fun. Moving over to the nightstands, my boyfriend and I's nightstands are very different. Mine is all about functionality. I saw a girl on TikTok a long time ago. I wish I remembered who it was, but she had like a little tiered tray on her nightstand to hold like the stuff that she might need like while she's in bed watching TV, like my lotion and my glasses and a nail file and the remote. So I always have this on my nightstand. This is such a great tip. I will never not do this. And then I have my little water carafe, that crystal water carafe that I thrifted. It's fun. You like fill it up with water and then instead of drinking out of a water bottle, you have this beautiful cup to drink your water out of at night. It makes me feel fancier than I actually am. And then again, just photos and a candle. These nightstands are from Birch Lane. I wanted something burlwood for a long time in my apartment, but I wasn't sure which piece I wanted to do. And when I found these nightstands, I was like, yes, this is the burlwood that I've been looking for in my apartment. So I love these nightstands. And then my boyfriend's nightstand over here is super simple. I found this cute little golfer guy at a thrift store and I thought he was so cute. So he lives here now. And then just photo frame, candle, little box to put like his stuff in so it's not out on display for everyone to see. And then a coaster. He does not always use it, but I told him you have to use a coaster on these nightstands. And then my beautiful dresser. I just got this dresser from Ballard Designs. It's called the Grace Dresser. I am obsessed. It has such good storage inside. The drawers are so deep. And I love all the little detailing, like the cute little trim on the side, and it goes all the way around to the front. And I love that it has 3 legs in the front instead of 2. And then it has this cute like little lip on top, which is just more character. I love pieces with character, especially if I'm gonna buy something new. I don't buy a lot of stuff brand new. I always try to find, you know, antique before I look for something new. But I love this, and I love the cute little knobs and the little brass details it adds. Great dresser. And then what I have on top of the dresser, I have a bunch of coffee table books. I have actually read every single coffee table book that's in my apartment. Not read, but I have flipped through them. So I know what's inside of all of them, and they all have amazing inspiration. So these are a few that I love, specifically these 4. And then I just have a bunch of photos of family and more diptyque candles. That was a fun like Valentine's Day one that they did. And then I have a bowl here with all of my bracelets. I have all of my jewelry kind of on top of here too, but I have all of my friendship bracelets from the Taylor Swift concert in this one. And then this is like my actual jewelry box that I put all of my jewelry in. And then above I have these cute little plates. We obviously have to have like a Southern plate hanging moment in here. So I did them around the TV, and I think it's so fun because just made that negative space so much more pretty. And then I have a beautiful piece of art here from an artist named Katie Romeo. She has an Etsy store and she makes beautiful paintings. She did this one for me with lyrics from the song 7 by Taylor Swift on it. And it's one of my favorite songs, some of my favorite lyrics. And I love having this in here. It's so special. And then if you follow me into here, this is our primary bathroom. Unfortunately, there aren't 2 sinks in here, which is kind of weird to me, but we do have a lot of space to make up for that. We have this mirror here, which is actually so nice. I don't know how I'm gonna live without these when I move, but this is the best thing ever when you're getting ready in the morning. So I decided to do a shelf in here to save on countertop space because I like to have my perfumes out, and we have storage under here, but we don't have much storage. So I decided to hang this shelf, and I love it. I think it's fun. It's like a fun way to display your pretty perfumes and, you know, products, and put a candle on there. And I have Q-tips and a diptyque candle again in this bathroom. This is one of my favorite things to do. I think it's so pretty. And then I have this little tray down here with some napkins for drying your hands. I have my bowl of lipsticks that I reach for every morning. Again, with the diptyque, these beautiful soaps and lotions. I love these. And then moving over here, we have this like beautiful hydrangea kind of art over here. I love it. I found this at HomeGoods, and I went with my boyfriend like maybe 3 weeks before I bought this, and I saw this, and he was like, "You don't need that. It's ugly. We don't need this." And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So we didn't get it. And I was thinking about it. So I was like, I'm gonna go back and see if they still have it. And it was on sale, so I bought it. So that's how that ended up there. And then in this corner, I have a cute little table with some room spray and a diffuser and a candle. Again, just taking up negative space because this bathroom, when we got in, it was so hard for me to decorate because like I said, in my kitchen, it's such a new build. It's so modern. It's so white. So I replaced the knobs obviously in this bathroom too, but really anything to warm the space up and, you know, not have it so white in this corner. So I love having the little table here. I love that there's room for that. And then I have this great shower curtain. I love the colors in here. I've been trying to add like more browns into my apartment to warm it up, which I've really been liking. And I found this great shower curtain that has like some scallop detail on the side. So pretty. And it matches my beautiful Wheezy towels that I have in here. I have the blue and white ones in here. Again, I already said this, Wheezy's the best. I love Wheezy. And then for my rugs, I got these from, it's called House of Noah. They are like really padded, so it's nice when I'm like standing there doing my hair, because I have this little leopard poof here that I sit on, but I don't always sit on it because sometimes I like to stand. So these rugs are amazing. They have like the thickest like padding on the bottom that makes it so comfortable. So I love these rugs and I love the color. I love that they're like simple, they're not too crazy. Great rugs, I love these rugs. Home to me is a space that feels lived in and comfortable and cozy, and you know, this home specifically, I have so many amazing memories in this apartment already, and we've only lived here for 6 months of just girls' nights with my friends, and it just started. But football season, my boyfriend is huge into sports, and having people over to gather for things like that, and you know, we have a lot of Taylor Swift nights in this apartment when she releases new albums. So a lot of fun stuff, and I think that's what makes this apartment specifically feel so comfortable and homey to me, is that I have so many memories inside of it with the people that mean the most to me.
Hi, Homeworthy. I'm Amy. Welcome to my house in Dallas, Texas. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. To shop items inspired by this and other Homeworthy episodes, be sure to check out the product links below for amazing furniture, accessories, and more.
My name is Amy Smith-Atkins, and I have an interior design firm in Dallas, Texas called Amy's Interiors. We also have a furniture line called Amy's Interiors Collection. So we are in Dallas, Texas in University Park. I live close to SMU and I love this area. And I moved here 18 years ago with 4 young children as a single parent, and really just needed to get into a nest and make it my own. It was built in 1926. So it is close to being a historic property. We're proud of that aspect, and I just really lightened it up with removing doors, lightening all the colors, and just establish a little more of a fresh palette. You will see as you walk through. Welcome to my living room. In keeping with a home that was built in 1926, I do not have an entryway, so you just walk right into my living room. Because of my job, I get to go to beautiful antique fairs, and this I purchased in a Paris antique fair, and I love the weight of it. I love the contrast with the colors, and weighting this space with this beautiful antique chest. This beautiful painting is very special to me. My older daughter, who is a teacher at Covenant, an art teacher, she did this painting for me, and it's from the first original square in Paris, in Marais, Place des Vosges, and it was built in the 1600s. And so she made this painting based on me and my colors and what I wanted, but she also put her siblings throughout the painting, which is very special to me. Again, and this is a good reminder to all of you, we all have sentimental things, and I purchased this in my 20s at an antique fair in Newark at the International Antique Fair in England. And you don't see many corner cabinets or corner cupboards, but it's so sentimental to me that I've kept it. Walk over into the sitting area of the space, and we have this contrast of the Abaca rug with all the color. I love the natural fibers, I love the design, and I like the way it pairs beautifully with my love for color. I designed this chair, and it's a nice little citrus pop for the room. We now are doing a furniture collection at Amy's Interiors, and we have a collection of pillows, which are represented on our sofa. The antique brass and glass table, I bought it at an antique fair, a mid-century antique fair in France, and I love it. I love having different textures throughout the room to create interest, especially in an older house. It elevates the space and makes it feel fresh and relevant. And that's a nice little secret. This is really, truly one of my most favorite pieces in the house. It's a beautiful Biedermeier chest. And I often talk about this with clients, that a Biedermeier chest is so versatile and something that you can use in most rooms of your house. But they are a people magnet. People always want to talk about the beauty of this chest and just the artistry that comes with the design. I also love collectibles, snuff jars that I've just collected along the way. I grew up in Mississippi, so I'm a proud Mississippian, but love being a Texas transplant as well. But it's very traditional in Mississippi for us to do a portrait of our children, and I have 4, so I have them throughout my house, and you don't really see that very often, but again, that is something that is important to me, and it reflects my personal style, so it is something to remember for all of us, that it's important for your house to reflect things that are important to you. A big part of who I am is I love the beach. I love seaside. It's really my happy place. And I also have good friends from college, one specifically that has a beautiful place in Naples that over the years would let me come down there for a weekend or a getaway. And the shells are incredible. So I have collected a lot of the shells from her place down in Naples and sand dollars as well. So these are very special to me. We discussed books and how important they are. They're great for layering. They're great for interest. And it's also important to reflect your interest. So two of my favorites are actually right here at my front door. We are very inspired by Summer Thornton. She's a designer in Chicago, and we love her use of color. But we also love Pierre Frey. A lot of the fabrics and textiles wallpaper in my master bath is Pierre Frey. When we went to France one time for an antique fair, we got to go to the archives of Pierre Frey, and so that was very special. We got to see the original prints from the early 1800s and mill through them and hear about what inspired the different prints and the history of them. And I love history, so that was pretty amazing. So those are two examples of why those books are important to me. One thing that you will see throughout the home is my love for antique transferware from the Rose Famille family. I have the medallion, I have rose mandarin, just different collectibles that I've picked up along the way that I love. I love the way that their colors are reflected in current trends with those brighter melon type colors, and they're a passion of mine. I have several favorite rooms in the house. I love the sitting room, which you will see shortly. It's very small, it's full of light. My neighbor Betty, who was an older lady, told me that that's where she used to take piano lessons when she was a little girl. Her father was the chancellor at SMU, and she had such fond memories. She said there was always music coming from this house. So I brought my childhood piano here. Even though aesthetically it's not so beautiful, it creates a memory and a feeling. And I do think a house often is the feelings that you have in it. So that room brings me a lot of joy. I also have a tiny porch that I love, and I became one with it during COVID when I was needing my space from other family members. So I would go out on my porch and kind of take in the serenity of quiet. And right off the living room, we have our sitting room. I told you earlier that I live on a street where a lot of the professors from SMU used to live, and the people that used to own this house originally in 1926, they were music professors. So it was a music professor and his wife. So they taught piano and violin, and they used this as their music room. So I had to bring my childhood piano, even though it's not super special. It's meaningful. And having 4 kids, several of them took piano lessons and did piano. It's a tight little cozy spot that has beautiful lighting, and I have lit it up with a lot of color. This Eames chair I bought in a flea market outside of London at the Newark Fair, and just put purple mohair on it when I came back. And then I got a Ming chair along the way and just had it painted black lacquer. I think it's a nice touch to have something that is black lacquered. Again, I have an antique small drum table there, and then a mid-century knoll table that I bought in France at an antique fair. I love the height and I love the size and scale. Again, you see where I have the rose medallion scattered throughout the home, and a couple of my kids' portraits I love this little spot in the house because, again, in the morning sun, it's just a bright and cheerful spot. And I'm kind of crazy about this little table that I told you that I bought at an antique fair. I love the size and scale and it being small. I think a lot of times people are scared of white marble, and it really only gets better with patina and age. And this is a great place for me to read my Bible or have my coffee or return emails. So I end up landing here a lot. And I love the palette as well. This beautiful rug that I got from Patterson Flynn, which is the rug company of Schumacher. But I love that it just brightens up this little small space. I was inspired by this home when I first came here. I just resonated with this house. It felt like I had a heart and soul. It felt like a warm hug, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just a Tudor cottage. It's very simple, but it has smaller room sizes, which I appreciate because when you're with people, you're with people. And I mean, it's of course missing some things that you might get in a traditional house. I don't have an entry, but you walk right into the space, and I've just gotten used to it. The galley kitchen is smaller, but just like everything, you get used to it. It just challenged me creatively to add more color, add more value, add interest. I love antiques, obviously, with my work, and so adding unique pieces really stand out in a smaller home that's got a really simple, lovely palette. Here we are in the primary bedroom. It's wonderful because this old house has a downstairs primary, and people have said, well, should you put a bed against a window? And, you know, ideally no, but in this space, we had to do it because of utilizing a space plan with a king bed. So again, we have our Amy's Interiors collection, and we have our Biedermeier reproductions of side tables that we have in here, and we also have our bed that we can customize in any fabric, any stain color. So we just have a lot of options, but I've got it represented here in my room. Another piece in our collection is a Sophie bench that we're crazy about. We were inspired by the curves of an antique piece, and we put the brass caps on it, and we just have a high gloss wood finish. We can also do in a painted finish. We can do any fabric. In this circumstance, we went ahead and matched the decorative pillows, the Cowton and Tout. And again, with the Eleanor side tables, we can also do in a painted finish. So we can customize in any way. We can customize size, color, stain. So it's just a creative process. But this is a small reflection. And another thing that y'all might see throughout the house is something that I love is the fabric lampshades. I feel like that adds a lot of unique flavor. It just customizes a lamp, and it adds color. So consider that. We are also about to do a lampshade offering on our Amy's Interiors collection. So we just felt like that's a great way to make a space your own. I have two daughters, and both of them are artistic, and I am not. I'm creative, but I'm not artistic. But my youngest daughter did this when she was 5, and it's very meaningful to me. So then my oldest daughter did these black and white drawings when she was in 9th grade. So those are very meaningful to me as well. And it's a good reminder to everyone that often things that are important to you need to be expressed in a beautiful way. Some somewhere in your home. Sometimes I might put things that are more meaningful but might not be as current, and yet they're special to me. I might put it in a more of a private space, but that's why I love these. This piece of art is very meaningful to me as well. In going to the antique fairs over time in France, I've made a French artist friend and named Shiam, and I love her. And she is married to a wonderful person that when we've gone over there, we'll get to have meals with them and be with them. But she is very big on empowering women. And this series is Women Helping Women. And I think she reflects, how can we support one another instead of, compete or steal ideas? How can we help one another? And I love that message. And I love, of course, all the beautiful colors that obviously you can tell. I love color. Another thing to mention about Shiam's art is she does all of these beautiful works on antique architectural prints. So she loves the texture and she likes the way the color bleeds from it. And so, in the light, they're a little bit iridescent, and she just does beautiful works. So that's very important to me. Another inspiration of mine is Asian art, artifacts, Chinese sewing boxes, Chinese snuff jars. I just love Asian art. And these are some beautiful hand-painted pieces that we bought at the antique fair in Paris, and adds just a unique coloration as well as something interesting. I feel like adding old pieces, antique pieces, when you use color is key, because it establishes the room and it keeps it from looking too whimsical and too shallow, is maybe the best way to say it. So it adds a lot of value. And off of the primary, I have the primary bath. Again, this space is original to the house, so it's smaller, but magical because of the Pierre Fray wallpaper that I love. Again, all things Asian that I love, and you see it represented here. It's just beautiful. Again, this is something that we were able to go into the artifacts of the Pierre Fray in Paris and learn about the history behind some of the patterns and prints. So it became more and more enticing, I should say. But again, I told y'all over time, it did take me the layers of time to get new counters, paint, wallpaper, all those things. But sometimes you just have to be patient with ourselves in the process. I purchased this years ago from an antique fair in England, and I use it for jewelry, but I didn't realize, and it's kind of all junked up, but I didn't realize the wood makers would make these little tiny replicas of the piece that they were going to make for the person that ordered it for approval. So this is what we call a CFA. So it is a perfect little jewelry box, but at one point it was a large piece of furniture for someone. This is another thing that is very meaningful to me in my little area where I get ready in the mornings. But again, I've got this transferware that I love, all the beautiful Asian pieces, but it's the pictures of my parents, both of my parents, when they were both at college at Delta State, and she was this Delta girl beauty, and he had just come home from World War II, and that is so meaningful. And it's a reminder that you need to put your pictures of your people throughout the house. That gives you that sense of who you are and who you are because of the people that went before you. My overall design is a mixture of antiques. I was in the antique industry in my 20s, and I became very passionate about the origin history of pieces, and I am also passionate about color and clean design. So my house is a mix of those things. Over time, I have gone to France to the antique fair on multiple occasions, and England and different parts of America, and that has been very fortunate for me to get a good eye for what pairs beautifully with our style, which you will see as you walk through the house. Welcome to our family room. This is where most of our time is spent. As you can see from the layout, it was a difficult challenge to find seating. We have the stairway here, we have a large opening here, we have a fireplace, windows there. So we just did a custom love seat for this space and just covered up that entire corner. But again, just enough space to do a small chair on swivel with a couple of our ottomans that are from our furniture collection. And those make it super versatile when we have more people over, when we need to pull things in. But again, it's a real small space that can work. And I think something about this room too is it's pretty dark because we only have the windows right there that were original to the house. So with that, we just went ahead and tried to put a lot of color in here and add some, antique pieces that have value. Again, the old Chinese boxes, our layers of books, the old porcelain. Again, you see on this Welch dresser, we have some of the Chinese boxes as well as some of the rose medallion, rose mandarin that I've collected over the years. This piece I purchased at a London antique fair years ago, and it was, I think originally they would say they were a dumb waiter. They would use them to stack plates and serve off of, but now it works beautifully as a TV console. So I love that piece. And again, I'm crazy about all things French. And this piece I actually purchased in Dallas from Nick Brock. It's a painting from 1925, a still life from George Klein, which I think is beautiful. Again, it has all the colors that I'm so crazy about. So that's something that's special. This pair of side tables I am really crazy about. They are Jansen. They're mid-century. I bought them at the antique fair in France, and I really love them so much. I love that they add interest. I'm not usually someone that uses a whole lot of red, but this color and the value of having something very special and unique, I love them. I grew up in Mississippi, and we always had a fire in the fireplace. It was something my dad always nurtured, the fire. And so now I've kept this a wood-burning fireplace, and I am quick to make fires throughout the winter. Even when it's not very cold, I love to get some pinon and do the wood-burning fireplace when I can, as quickly as I can, I should say. I did get this little fire screen in France, and it was perfect because this is an old fireplace mantle, and obviously if I were to build it today, I might not pick this layout, but this is what I had, so I painted it, and this opening was rather small, but this fit it perfectly. So you make do. This piece of art I love. It's by Ariane Lepret. She is local. She used to live in France. I loved her use of color. It's also, again, the theme. I love seaside and the beach. This reminds me of the community of Seaside, and this looks like the little chapel in Seaside. So I asked Ariane to put a little cross on the top, and this looks like some of the little beach homes. So that brings me a lot of joy. When we first moved in, this was 18 years ago, and I had 4 young kids, and it was important to me that the kids felt at home quickly. And I feel like I keep repeating myself, but I do think having those family photos brings about a sense of home. And so I did kind of cover the walls with pictures of the kids. With time, I have replaced some with paintings, and here, since it's the family space, I put memories on the walls, and brings me a lot of joy. These pieces are wax seals, and we bought these in Paris, and we just had them framed so when people would write letters, they'd use their stamp and seal. So these are just a collection of the seals, and just a creative way to add color and value to a room, and maybe a little more reasonable way to put something on the walls if you don't want to invest in a large piece of art. And right off the family, again, we had this original opening to the kitchen. It had doors. Every interior space had doors, so I removed all of those to open everything up. But then in here, I've got this galley style kitchen, so it's just a nice wide space to work with. Our small little breakfast room, and I love this beautiful antique rug that I got from Farzine, who's one of my favorites down at the Design Center. But it fit the space perfectly. And again, my love for the beach, Teal Duncan did that beautiful piece that is serenely on that wall. So, and this, of course, leads into our backyard, but this is a great move-through space. And right off the kitchen is the dining room. This used to have a waiter door, so I removed that, but it's, again, cozy, but yet gets the job done. I have a beautiful dining table, sideboard, and corner cabinet that I got in Newark at the International Antique Fair maybe 30 years ago. So it is a testament to how, if you buy a beautiful antique piece, that it can stand the test of time. It adds a lot of value to a space, and when you buy something beautiful like that, it doesn't need changing. I have said this a lot with clients that on the front end, it is a big investment, but it pays off. These chairs we had custom made, in the last 4 or 5 years. It's a Groves Brothers, and they're out of Fort Worth, and they do a beautiful job at doing custom colors, and I love this color. This piece of art I'm crazy about. It's by Emily York, and I'm a biker. I love to bike, and so I saw it, and there's a biker in the front, and then there's a biker behind her, and me and my bestie, she loves to bike as well, and we kid about the fact that sometimes I'm out in front of her, but to be honest, that's the only thing that I'm better at than her, because she's better at everything else. But that kind of reflects a fun bike ride that we have taken so many. Again, you see my love for Asian plates and Chinese pieces. Again, my portraits. Another piece that I really love is this bar cart. I bought it at Antique Fair in Paris. It has removable trays, and it will actually fold up. But again, like I spoke about earlier, it's lovely to have just another contrasting piece that's got, you know, black lacquer on it. My parents were married for 50 years before they passed away, and these 4 glasses were a wedding gift to my parents. I love this vase. I have to tell y'all, this Asian vase is just very beautiful to me. It makes me excited. It's got every color in the rainbow. It's unique. And there were a pair, and I actually sold the other one to a client. And I loved this client, and we kidded about the fact that it's like those little heart bracelet or heart necklaces that you have with your boyfriend in junior high school or high school, where you got half the heart and they got the other half. Well, she got half my heart, and she knows it. She knows that I'm glad that it's in good hands, so we laughed about it. Before we step outside, I wanted to showcase just 2 pieces that are important to me. So this is Kathy Lancaster. I grew up with her husband, and she has a gallery in Chicago, and she's a dear friend, and I love her. So it reminds me of her and her beautiful use of color. And this piece is meaningful to me because my oldest daughter won this at an art competition in college, and their challenge, or the whole meaning behind it, was to pick something that is a still life, something that's simple, but bring it to life. And so she brought this mixer to life with the use of color, and it reminds you of our challenge is to often help you guys bring color in to just enliven a space and create a whole lot of life, and that's what she did with this piece. I'm passionate about the fact that everyone's personality needs to be reflected in their space. When clients ask us to come in and, you know, give them advice, we always ask them what's important to them. And I think, you know, it's interesting to us every time we do an installation and we bring photos. We ask the clients to send us maybe 40 or 50 photos, and we have them blown up and framed and scattered throughout the house with, you know, various accessories, and it's always so meaningful to them, and it just reminds you that we're all that way. When you're surrounded by your people, you're happy, and we love that aspect. But, you know, just different aspects of coffee table books and color, things that are reflective of your interest so that it feels more like a home versus a showroom. And that's always our goal when we're meeting with our clients. Okay, this is one of my favorite spots. This is my my backyard, and I really desperately needed a little place for myself when I went through COVID. I had 2 kids here that were doing a college curriculum. I had one client that was building a house, and we had our other clients, of course, that we were doing all their remodeling, and it was just a full plate. And so I really wanted a back porch, but I couldn't really do it at the time. So I found out about these retractable screens. So this little space was already here, and I put a TV out here, and then added this retractable screen so that I didn't have to worry about mosquitoes and bugs. And so it provided a space that felt like a room. And again, it gives you that reminder of you might not have a big space, like I don't have a big space, but creatively figuring out ways that you can make it work for you. And this really works for me. It makes me so happy. I've got my couple little chairs out here. I've got a little fire pit and my grill. And then, of course, during COVID, my grass was always dead out here because I have a beautiful tree. And I decided to go ahead and get turf. And I built a little pool. And that has been a major asset to this space. When the guy came out to meet with me about building a pool, he mentioned that I really didn't have that much space to deal with, and yet it's all I need. It's been perfect, and it's deep enough that I can tread water and just enjoy being in just the refreshing part of water during the summer. But this was really a unique feature. When they came to build the pool and dig the hole, they said, you know, if we hit rock, we're gonna have to charge you a little bit more. So you're gonna really hope that we don't hit rock. And so then, of course, a week, 4 or 5 days later, they were like, we hit rock. So it's gonna be more. But the upside to that is there was a fresh spring in the rock, and it will keep your pool cooler. So my pool feels like it's chilled in the summer. And they said another advantage to having the rock under my house was the fact that I don't have cracking in my foundation, and my house is almost 100 years old. So that's the upside to having your house built on a rock. I think that might be a verse in Proverbs, but it's pretty amazing. Would love to mention that because this is turf and there's nice shade, and I've got the pool over here with the water feature, we'll come out here when I have friends over and eat outside, and I just keep a fold up table in the garage and cover with a pretty cloth, and it's just such an easy way to entertain, and not having a whole lot of space inside. This is just a way to create more space. Another reason why I did the pool that way and that small is I did not want to hurt my oak tree. When we first moved into this house 18 years ago, it was barely big enough to put a little swing on a branch for my youngest daughter. And so I didn't want to hurt the root system. And so that's worked out because it gave me usable space here to entertain and also have the pool and not hurt the tree. I love the question, what does home mean to you? Because I do think home is a place where you recharge, you rejuvenate, you really are able to settle in, find peace, and get ready to get back out to it.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.